Hello, this is Ken Ferrie with this week's Boots in the Field report. Many of you guys are finishing up your prep work and getting the equipment ready for the kickoff of the 2022 planter season. Many of you have sent in seed samples. The first couple of rounds of testing actually looked really strong, but some of the last batches are showing up some weak samples, especially in the saturated cold scores. A number of growers have commented that their seed suppliers have taken back seed lots due to poor germination issues. Now the question is, should they be concerned about other seed that they bought from the same company? My answer would be no. If a seed company contacts you to recall a lot of delivered seed, it's an indicator that you have a good seed company. Seed companies are pushed to deliver seed earlier and earlier every year. Maybe more so this year with the shortage of labor and truck drivers. Seed companies continue to monitor subsamples of every seed lot they send out, and if that subsample drifts out of condition, they will call it back. The only other option is to hold seed for delivery until planting, which creates an immense backlog, especially when you can't find trucks. Now, sometimes certain lot numbers go out of condition. Sometimes whole numbers can go out of condition, and most likely tied to last year's production issues. When a seed company recalls delivered seed, it's a sign that you're dealing with a real seedsman. It's much easier to deal with a seed recall than a dissatisfied customer at the end of the year. My advice: instead of being concerned about a recall, thank them for eliminating headaches that you're going to have to deal with later. For all the pest boss and the pest team out there, it's kind of go time right now. It's time to get back to work, I guess you would say, after we sat through the winter preparing for this year. And if you haven't already, you will soon see or start to see the 13-line ground squirrel coming out of hibernation. The male's going to emerge first. The mating season starts about 2 weeks after the squirrels come out of hibernation, and it's going to last for about 2 weeks. Litter sizes, typically 3 to 14 squirrels, will be fully mature in about 9 to 10 months. Now is the time to start putting out your bait stations. If you can kill them before they produce offspring, the population is much easier to control. Now, squirrels will reuse tunnels year after year, especially if you're no-tilling and strip-tilling. Use last year's yield maps and your aerial images to locate where the colonies are. No-till and cover crop ups the incidences of gopher problems because of the cover protection that they get from the predators that would take them out. Now, shortly after the young are born, but not moving much, heavy rains will drown out that population. Can drown out at least a portion of that population, which we didn't see last year, which is why we saw ground squirrels in some areas at record numbers. Now, right with the 13-line ground squirrel is a vole. The vole will show up in March as well. Females will give birth to 3 to 6 juveniles per litter, and a female can have from 5 to 10 litters. One vole becomes 50 very quick. Here too, get on your vole infestations quick, especially if you're growing covers. They're like mice in a granary, and then get out of hand in a hurry. When fields get overrun with voles, about the only thing we have found to work is to take it out of covers and add some tillage. This exposes them to the predators to clean them up. The same bait traps used for the 13-line ground squirrel work for the vole as well. But when you have 1 or 2 patches of voles in a field, we can get that cleaned up. By the time you get to, as we saw last year, anywhere from 30 to 60 colonies in a 40-acre field, it's too hard to come back from that. Then we have to reset and start over. We continue to see an uptick in wireworm issues over the last 5 to 7 years, and I'm not sure what the cause is. But if wireworm damaged your stand the last time the field was in corn and you're not sure if you're going to use an insecticide, now would be the time to put out your bait station. Use your yield maps and your aerial images to locate your problem areas. Wireworm take 7 years to run a life cycle. So if they were a problem 2 years ago, they will be back. Usually, the pressure is on side hills that warm up first. Dig a hole 6 inches deep, throw in a handful of wheat and a handful of corn, cover it back up with soil, and then cover that with a chunk of black plastic to heat it up. As that grain starts to decompose, the wireworm will be attracted to it. Before planting, dig it back up and look for wireworm. If you average 1 wireworm per bait station, you'd better implement a plan to protect yourself from stand loss. It's time to put out our cutworm and armyworm lures. If you have a trap and just need lures, let us know. We'll get you some lures. We have some traps as well. If need replacements, or if you'd like to try your hand in cutworm trapping, give us a call. Growers with corn going into covers have a lot higher risk of stand loss to cutworm and armyworm. If we can get traps scattered throughout our customer base, this critter won't sneak through here without us seeing it. No cost for the traps or lures if you call in your catches. If you don't call in your catches, the trap costs $1,000. Just kidding. But we'll try to get you a trap if you're willing to help us monitor this insect. It works well if you partner up with a neighbor and take turns checking the trap line and calling in the catches. Now, all the crop tech customers that signed up to watch our last agronomy meeting online should have gotten an email with the link. It would come from events@croptechconsulting.com. If you did not get it, first check your junk mail. If it's not there, give the office a call and we'll get you that link. Soil test crews have been out working on the spring testing. If you haven't sent the orders in for your spring testing, let's get her done. To stay up to date, check out our website at croptechinc.com and subscribe to our podcast, Boots in the Field Report. Keep her safe, keep her moving.